Sampurita pamita paramita balena Vidvansiyo kila kilesa Samoha jalam Tene valanda araham arahoti namam Vandami buddha mamalang hadaye tapetva Samanta cakkavalesu atra gaccantu devata Saddhammam munirajassa sunantu sagga mokkadam Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Dhammasavana kalo ayam badanta Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa Kāye kāyānupasse viharati ātāpi sampajāno satimā vinaya loke aviññādo manassam Vedanāsu vedanānupasse viharati ātāpi sampajāno satimā vinaya loke aviññādo manassam Citte cittanupasse viharati ātāpi sampajāno satimā vinaya loke aviññādo manassam Dhammesu dhammānupasse viharati Ātāpi sampajāno satimā vinaya loke aviññādo manassanti. Homage to the Exalted One, the Worthy One, the Supremely Enlightened One. Dear friends in Dhamma, in this discussion we are going to explain one of the discourses which comes in Samyutta Nikaya. Its name is Bahiya Sutta. I think all of you have heard about Bahiya, but that Bahiya is Bahiya Daruchirya. This is another Bahiya. There are several Bahiya discourses in Tripitaka. This is another one. And this is a monk, not Bahiya Daruchirya. One day, one of the disciples named Bahiya came to Buddha and asked the question that, please explain the Dhamma in short, that I can practice to succeed my spiritual life. Then Buddha explained this discourse. The main topic of this discourse is that explaining mindfulness. I think all of you know mindfulness. Mindfulness is a very famous topic in Buddhism. This temple also now, mindfulness meditation center. Therefore, we have to talk about mindfulness again and again. This is the main purpose of this center now. No more Los Angeles Buddhist Vihara. This is Mindfulness Meditation Center. Therefore, we should know very well what the mindfulness is. When we see the society, see the world, a lot of people explain and practice mindfulness. They mostly say that forget your past and future, live in the present moment. That is their advice. Actually, Buddhist mindfulness is different from that idea. Buddhism never says us to forget anything which happened in the past or which will be happening in the future. When we practice mindfulness, day by day, our memory increases. Memory is not the fault. Fault is the ignorance. When we are ignorant, whatever we think, whatever we remember which happened in the past, our mind suddenly goes to past and our mind lives in the past experience. We have no mindfulness. That is the reason of suffering. However, we should understand the parts of mindfulness what the Buddha explained. One day, when the Supreme Buddha was in Savatthi, Jeta's grove, Anathapindika's temple, then Venerable Bahiya came to Buddha and paid the Supreme Buddha, paid his homage to the Buddha, sat down to one side and said to the Buddha, he says, Venerable Sir, it would be good if the Blessed One would teach me the Dhamma in brief or short, so that having heard the Dhamma from the Blessed One, I might dwell alone, withdrawn, diligent, ardent, and resolute. Then the Supreme Buddha replied, well, then, Bahiya, purify the very starting point of wholesome states. And what is the starting point of wholesome states? Virtue that is well purified and view that is straight. Then, Bahiya, when your virtue is well purified and your view is straight, based upon virtue, established upon virtue, you should develop 4 establishments of mindfulness, 4-fold mindfulnesses. Here it is very important to understand, Buddha says very clearly, Adimeva Visodehi Kusalesu Dhammesu. At the beginning, Buddha says, purify the very starting point of wholesome states. And Buddha says, Ko Vadinam Kusalanam Dhammanam. What is the starting point of wholesome states? Silancha Suvisuddham Dittincha Ujuka. Virtue that is well purified and view that is straight. This is the turning point of this discourse. This is the very important sentence in this discourse, Bahiya Sutta. Buddha says, when we are going to start mindfulness, when we are going to practice mindfulness, first of all, our virtue should be purified. And also, our view, our vision, our understanding should be straight. What does Buddha say? Every institute, every person should have vision and mission. Both of them are very important. Vision and mission. What is the vision? Vision means where we should reach, our destination, goal, achievement. That is the vision. What is the mission? Mission means what we do for reaching the destination. Vision without mission is useless. Mission without vision is blind. Vision without mission is useless. Mission without vision is blind. Therefore, both of them are very important. What is the Buddhist point of view in the supramundane level? In the mundane level, our vision is that understanding the karmic law, kammasakata sammaditthi. That is the very first vision in wisdom that we should have in the mundane level. What is the main purpose of mundane level in the samsaric circle? Having a blissful life hereafter. What is the biggest challenge that we have in this samsaric circle? The ability, the possibility to fall into hell after we die. That is the biggest challenge. That is the very worst issue in front of us. Therefore, Buddha has explained how we overcome this challenge, how we defeat this problem. For that, we should have some qualities to overcome this challenge. Buddha has explained what are the qualities that we should need to practice to have a blissful life hereafter. Especially practicing 5 precepts and the confidence in the Buddha's enlightenment or the triple game. This is very important. Even though some people are not Buddhist, even though they are not confident in the triple game, it doesn't matter. But if they practice 5 precepts, that is an assurance which they don't fall into hell. We should have this protection, refuge, assurance, insurance, safety. And first of all, we should practice 5 precepts, abstaining from taking life, abstaining from stealing, abstaining from sexual misconduct, abstaining from false speech, and abstaining from intoxicating drinks and drugs. If we can overcome these bad behaviors, it means we have a safety that we don't fall into hell after we die, even though we face any complex situation when we die. That is a great opportunity, refuge, protection that a person can achieve in this life. Having the karmic law, understanding of the karmic law. That belongs to the mundane level in the samsaric circle. Now we are going to explain the second level in the supramundane level, how we overcome the samsaric circle. In this situation, Buddha has explained the importance of having correct vision, sammaditthi, right understanding. That is very important. Here Buddha says, Sīlañca suvisuddham dittiñca ujuka. That is the thing which comes in the Karanimetta Sutta. Dittiñca anupagamma sīlavā dassanena sampanna. That is the thing Buddha has explained there and here. First of all, we should have discipline in our speech and behavior, not just discipline, but having the correct vision. What is the correct vision? Yes, correct vision means the understanding of the Four Noble Truths, understanding of the dependent origination, understanding the three characteristics, three lakshana. In short, understanding the impermanence, anicca, arising and ceasing of our entire experiences. Whatever we experience through our six senses, material or mental things, everything is impermanent. Everything arises and ceases at the moment. We create the world in the present moment. Our world is new every moment. But because of our ignorance, our experience is polluted with ignorance. Why is that? After we experience, we remain something inside. That is the thing which brings us suffering. As soon as we experience something, if we are mindful and wise, then no dustbin in our garden. As soon as dust or dustbins come, we put it away. Now, because of no mindfulness, no wisdom, a lot of dustbins are in the corner of our, garden. If we are mindful and wise, no garbage, no dustbins in our garden. That is the thing Buddha says. If someone sees the arising of five aggregates, he never goes to the extreme of nihilism, Uchedavada. And also, if he sees the cessation of five aggregates, he doesn't go to the extreme of eternalism, Sassatavada. Sassata and Uchedavada, nihilism and eternalism, should be destroyed by one vision, which is the understanding of the dependent origination. When this arises, this arises. When this ceases, this ceases. This is the background of the dependent origination. In the silver line is that ahutva sambhutang hutva nabhavisati. Not being occurred comes to occurrence, being occurred will not go to occurrence. This is the foundation of our all experiences that we receive every moment. Our entire life is the present thought, present moment. That present moment, every moment, arises and ceases. That present thought with other four aggregates, such as corporeality or rupa, vedana feelings, and sanya perception, sankhara mental formations, and consciousness. If we can understand this reality, we need to make this reality true in our life. That is why Buddha says, before we are going to start this path, practicing fourfold mindfulnesses, first of all, we should know very clearly what the dependent origination is, or what is the impermanence, arising and ceasing of at the moment. And also anicca, if someone sees the anicca or impermanence, he sees the suffering. Yadaniccan tan dukkham. Yam dukkham tadanattam. He who sees the suffering sees selflessness. Yadaniccan tan dukkham yam dukkham tadanattam. Understanding of these three things are interrelated. He who sees the impermanence sees dissatisfaction. He who sees the dissatisfaction sees the selflessness. Understanding of these three things are interrelated, and understanding of these three things depends on understanding the dependent origination. Then we find the path. What is the path? Path can be explained in various ways. Sometimes Buddha says, you have to practice 37 enlightenment factors. Sattis Bodhipākkhiga Dhamma. Sometimes Buddha says you have to practice the Eightfold Path, the Noble Eightfold Path, Ariyatthaṅgika Magga. Sometimes Buddha says you have to practice 7 enlightenment factors, Sattabojjhanga. Sometimes you should be skillful in 6 senses. Sometimes Buddha says you have to practice 5 spiritual faculties. Sometimes Buddha says you have to practice 4-fold mindfulnesses. Sometimes Buddha says you have to practice 3 disciplines, Sila, Samadhi, Paññā. Sometimes Buddha explains you have to practice only 2 things, tranquil and insight meditation. Sometimes Buddha says you have to practice only wisdom, reflecting on arising and ceasing. According to the audience, Buddha has explained his message sometimes in short, sometimes in long. Here Buddha explained his message as 4-fold mindfulnesses. First of all, we should have vision, then we meet mission. What is the vision? Vision means our point of view, right understanding, sammaditthi. Sammaditthi means understanding the dependent origination or Four Noble Truths, suffering. What is suffering? Suffering means very first experience, the noble truth of suffering. Because of ignorance of this suffering, we have attachment to the world, the cause of suffering. The cause of suffering is inside, attachment to myself. Then, what is the cessation of suffering? Getting rid of attachment to this craving. And also, what is the path that leads to getting rid of suffering? Again, Buddha says the Eightfold Path. That is also one of the ways Buddha has explained as the point of view, the vision, right understanding. Then Buddha explained what does Bahiya have to practice. Buddha says, with the vision and mission, you have to practice 4-fold mindfulnesses. In various ways in Tripitaka, Buddha has explained the importance of practicing mindfulness. Ekaino ayam bhikkhave maggo. This is the only, one and only path for sattana visuddhya, for the purification of beings, soka pariddavanam samatikkamaya, for the overcoming of sorrow and lamentation, dukkha domanassanam attangamaya, for the destruction of pain and grief, Nyaya Sadigamaya, for the gaining of wisdom, Nibbanasa Satchikiriyaya, for the attaining of Nibbana, which is practicing the 4-fold mindfulnesses. First of all, Buddha has explained the benefits of practicing mindfulness. Practicing mindfulness is the only way to overcome suffering, and this is the only path to achieve the Nibbana. Then Buddha explained how we practice mindfulness. Here Buddha says in Vibhanga Sutta, Satipatthānaṁ o bhikkhave desissāmi, Satipatthāna bhāvanaṁca, Satipatthāna bhāvanāgāminí patipadanca. I think all of you have heard a lot about Buddhist teachings, what is your idea? Mindfulness, practicing mindfulness does it belong to tranquil meditation or insight meditation? Especially when we discuss the great discourse of mindfulness, Mahasatipatthana Sutta, does this belong to Samatha Bhavana or Vipassana Bhavana? Any other answers? That is very important to understand. Here Buddha says in Vibhanga Sutta, Satipatthānaṁ o bhikkhave desissāmi satipatthāna bhavananca satipatthāna bhavanāgāmini patipadanca. When we study mindfulness, there are 3 topics in mindfulness in Buddhism. What they are? Mindfulness, mindful meditation, and the path that leads to mindful meditation. Satipatthāna, Satipatthāna Bhavana, Satipatthāna Bhavanāgāmini Patipada. What is the Satipatthāna? Satipatthāna means, Buddha says, for Bahiya, Bhikkhu Bahiya, you should dwell contemplating the body in the body. Ardent, Atapi, clearly comprehending, Sampajano, mindful, Satima, disciplining, craving, and displeasure in regarding to the world. Vinaya loke abhijjaha domanassa. First Buddha says, dwelling contemplating the body in the body. And next Buddha says, dwelling contemplating the feelings in feelings. Next Buddha says, dwelling contemplating the body, mind in mind. And dwelling contemplating the phenomena in phenomena. Kaya kayanupassī viharati, or contemplating the body in body. Vedanasu vedananupassī viharati, contemplating the feelings in feelings. Chitte chittanupassī, contemplating the mind in the mind. Dhammesu dhammanupassī, contemplating the phenomena in phenomena. This is mindfulness. Or contemplating in body, feelings, consciousness and mental formations. This is mindfulness. Focusing our attention in the present moment, we keep our attention in our body, feelings, consciousness and mental formations. That belongs to Satipatthāna. Next Buddha says, Satipatthāna Bhavana. What is Satipatthāna Bhavana? Satipatthāna Bhavana means Samudaya Dhammanupassī viharati, Vaya Dhammanupassī viharati. Reflecting on arising and ceasing of body, feelings, mind and mental formations. What is that? What is the first thing? Kaya kayanupassī viharati, contemplating in body, contemplating in feelings, contemplating in consciousness, contemplating in mental phenomena. What is that? That is mindfulness, and when we practice mindfulness, we can achieve tranquil meditation too. When we practice mindfulness, then our mind is concentrated in some meditation techniques. That first step belongs to samatha or tranquil meditation or concentration meditation. Then, in the same discourse, the second step, Satipatthana Bhavana or Samudaya Dhammanupassī Vihārati, Vaya Dhammanupassī Vihārati, what is that? Yes, very good. That is insight meditation. Samatha Bhavana and Vipassana Bhavana, insight meditation as well, include in this same sutta. When you study any Satipatthana Sutta, you should know that both tranquil and insight meditations are in this mindfulness. That is very important. Or contemplating in body, feelings, mind and mental formations is tranquil meditation. And also Samudaya Dhammanupassī Vihārati, Vaya Dhammanupassī Vihārati belongs to insight or Vipassana meditation. This is the very important thing that we should know before you leave this session. Okay? If anyone asks you that whether tranquil or insight meditation teaches in mindfulness, you should know that both concentration and insight meditation are in this same topic, which is mindfulness. That is very important. But some people don't know that. If you don't know this difference, it means you have no real understanding about the vision and mission as well in Buddhism. And next Buddha says, Satipatthana Bhavana Gamini Patipadancha. It means practicing the Noble Eightfold Path. The first thing is understanding mindfulness. The second one is understanding the dependent origination. The third one is practicing the Eightfold Path, Noble Eightfold Path. These three things are interrelated. Especially the second and third steps are interrelated. Understanding the dependent origination or impermanence and practicing the Noble Eightfold Path are interrelated. This understanding now we are going to forward little by little. Buddha says, when Bahiya, based upon virtue, established upon virtue, you develop these four establishments of mindfulness in such a way, then whether night or day comes, you may expect only growth in wholesome states, not decline. Then Buddha explained how we practice this mindfulness little by little. Very first thing, what is the goal of practicing all these activities? What is the final goal? Yes, final goal is enlightenment. What is the sign that we are in mindfulness? That we are in enlightenment? That we are in liberation? Reflecting on impermanence, arising and ceasing of everything that we have in our life. That is our goal. That is our Prince of Dream. For that, whatever we do, we should know the destination. When you drive, when you go somewhere, when you do something, you should know before you do something, what is my final goal, my achievement, my destination. Wishing that final destination, now we should practice the path. The very first thing is Kaye Kayanupassī Vihārati, contemplating in body, For that, Buddha has explained several stages in this level. The very first thing is practicing breathing meditation in and out. Here, keeping our attention around the nose or upper lip. When we breathe in, we know that I breathe in. When I breathe out, I know that I am breathing out. Again and again we contemplate on breathing in and out. Then we are aware of our body, breathing body. This breathing happens because of some reasons such as ignorance, food, craving, karmic energy. As the result of these things, I have breathing in and out. But this is just an action, but it doesn't belong to a particular person. Then I don't take this breathing as mine, as me, as myself. I see this incident as an incident. I doesn't take this breathing as mine, as me, as myself, and also I contemplate on arising and ceasing of breathing in and out. When our mind is concentrated, suddenly we practice insight meditation. The second step is that iriyapata. When we walk, when we stand, when we sit, when we lie down, we are aware of our body posture. Walking, sitting, standing, lying down. Here we practice, we train our mind to live in the present moment. Always we are aware of our body posture. When our mind goes here and there, sometimes we don't know where we are in, what posture we are in. We have no mind, we don't know, we are unable to find where my mind is. That is the nature of our activities. Here, by practicing mindfulness, we are always aware of our body posture. What is the posture that I am in? And also, he understands this posture doesn't belong to anyone. This is just action of my other mental formations. And also he understands this posture, even though I act, this posture doesn't belong to me. It is not mine, it is not me, it is not myself. Every moment my postures arise and cease. That is the purpose of practicing body posture. Next, sampajanya. Mindfulness of clear awareness. From morning to night, from waking up to going to bed, we do everything mindfully. When we eat, we know that I am eating. When we wash our body, we know that I am washing my body. We always keep our attention in our behaviors. As the result of contemplating on our behaviors, we understand, even though I have these activities in my life because of my mind, these activities are impermanent. And also these activities don't belong to any particular person, certain person. These postures and these activities belong to my ignorance, my karmic energy, craving and food I have taken. And also finally he reflects on impermanence of arising and ceasing of these behaviors. These behaviors arise because of food. No food, no activities. Then little by little his understanding increases. Next, he contemplates on the impurity of body parts. Kesa, loma, naka, danta, like that. Kesa means hair. Loma means skin hair. Naka, nails. Like that. We contemplate on 32 body parts in our body. These body parts arise because of food that I have taken. And also, these body parts don't belong to me. This is just a result of my food. And these are not mine, me or myself. And also every moment these body parts arise and cease. Next, he contemplates on Dhatu Manasikara, the contemplation of 4 fundamental elements, Patavi, Apo, Tejo, Vayo. Solidity, liquidity, heat and motion. This physical body consists with these 4 fundamental elements. But these 4 fundamental elements are not a particular person. If these things are a particular person, we don't burn this body after we die. Now we think this is my body, but after we die, we pay some money for burning this body. But this is not a particular person. This is just a tool or just a cloth. And also finally he understands, he contemplates on the 9-channel ground. Now see, you think after we die, what happens to our physical body? It will be thrown in the cemetery and little by little it goes to dust. And this is the nature of the physical body. This physical body is the result of food that I have taken. This is the nature of other bodies too. Ajjattanva kaya kayanupassi viharati, bahiddhava kaya kayanupassi viharati. Not only we contemplate on our own body, but we contemplate on other bodies too. Why is that? Sometimes we have attachment, we have lust with other bodies too. Then we understand the primary things of this body is 4 fundamental elements. These are same to other persons too. As the result of contemplating in body, we understand every moment this body arises and ceases, and also this nature is same to other bodies too. And also this is not mine, this is not me, this is not myself. Every moment, this body arises and ceases. Sometimes we may think that this is permanent. But when we compare our photos that we have taken from year to year, how it goes to difference. That difference happens in every moment. Every second, that change can be seen. But we mostly see this change when, after several years goes. However, every moment, every second, this physical body changes. We are unable to control this change. And also, this is the same thing which happened to other bodies too. As the result of practicing Kayanupassana, the contemplation of body, we realize this body is the result of food that I have taken, and also it is impermanent, it is suffering, and also it is selfless. And also, as the result of practicing Kayanupassana, the contemplation of body, we realize the nutrition. ahara, kavalinkara ahara, the nutrition that we take to eat. That is the first thing. And also we can overcome asubhe subhasanya. Even though this body is impurity, we always think it is very pure, beautiful, and very valuable. As the result of classifying of these stages of Kayanupassana, we understand this is not a very pure thing. We realize the impurity of our body. And also, we understand the impermanence of this body. With this understanding, we go to the next anupassana or contemplation of feelings. When we feel something, not just the physical pain, but we receive feelings through 6 senses. And Chakku Sampasaja Vedana. Chakku Sampasaja Vedana means eye contact feelings. Sota Sampasaja Vedana, sound or ear contact feelings. Nose contact feelings, tongue contact feelings, body contact feelings, and mind contact feelings. Feelings can be divided into 6. Not just physical pains. For example, when you see something, when you hear when someone blames you, you have dukkha vedana, unpleasant feelings through your ears. It doesn't hate your physical body. Because of our ignorance, we are suffering because of that sound. And these feelings, when we are mindful, we are aware of our feelings that we receive through our 6 senses. When someone appreciates you, you are happy. You understand now, I have ear contact, pleasant feelings. But suddenly you understand, this feeling arises because of contact. When contact ceases, suddenly this feeling ceases. When you eat something, you feel pleasant feelings. But you know suddenly that this is impermanent. This arises at the moment, it suddenly, taste is, within several inches, several, millimeters. Then it goes past ton. Then our taste ceases. And by practicing contemplating in feelings, we recognize, we understand, we comprehend the nature of feelings. Feelings are impermanent. Feelings arises because of contact. When contact ceases, suddenly feelings cease. When you sat down here, very first time you are very comfortable. Then when times go, suddenly you are uncomfortable. But in very first behavior, you might think that it is so good posture that I have. But when time goes, then it changes. Actually, our entire life is like that. Even though we say that I have a lot of feelings, good feelings, we did only think that change in our body postures. With the practicing of contemplating on feelings, we understand the impermanence of our feelings. Then we don't take any feelings as mine, as me, as myself. We see these feelings as the result of contact. When contact arises, we have pleasant or unpleasant experiences, feelings then suddenly it ceases when condition ceases. We understand this, the nature of feelings in myself and others too. Ajjattanva kayakanupassī viharati, bahiddhava kayakanupassī viharati. When we meet a person, if someone is very happy with his feelings, sometimes we are jealous. If we can understand that pleasant feelings is very, impermanent, then we are never jealous. Because suddenly it changes. Why we are jealous to other people about the impermanent experience? And also, here, when we have pleasant feelings, we know that I have this pleasant feeling. When we have painful feeling, we know that I have a painful feeling. When we have neutral feelings, we know that I have neutral feelings. We are aware of our feelings that we receive through our senses. The next step is that the contemplation of mind. We are aware of our mind. Mind can be contemplated by our own mind. That is the thing. With the understanding of mindfulness, mind with fullness, mindfulness. Mind with awareness is mindfulness. Then, when our mind is lustful, we know that my mind is lustful. If you can recognize when you are angry, actually be happy. You are in front. You know that you have the contemplation of mind, consciousness. When you are angry, when your mind is lustful, if you know it, that is the thing that you are in the Dhamma. It means you can overcome those negative thoughts. But some people in the world, even though they are angry, even though their mind is lustful, they don't know even they have those developments. If we know that I am angry, always my mind goes to lust, it means you are in Dhamma. One day you can overcome these negative thoughts from your mind. But we don't fight these minds at the moment. We are only seekers in this stage, Chittanupassana. And also we understand this mind is impermanent. Even though now mind is lustful, it is not permanent. It suddenly ceases. Even though my mind is angry at the moment, it is not permanent. It doesn't go to continuously. Then we understand those consciousnesses as impermanent. Then we don't take that consciousness as mine, as me, as myself. That is third contemplation, Chittanupassana. The third one is very complex. The fourth one is very complex. That the contemplation of mind objects, so Dhammesu Dhammanupassī viharati. We do everything. We practice all four these stages with the qualities of, as Buddha said, Atapi, ardent, Sampajano, comprehending, Satima, mindful, and Vinaya Loke, Abhijjaha Domanassan, disciplining, courteousness, and displeasure in regard to the world. These are the primary qualities that we should have when we practice these fourfold mindfulnesses. Atapi. Atapi means ardent. Sampajano means clearly comprehending with wisdom. And mindful. discipline, covetousness and displeasure. We always trained our mind to desire or craving and detachment. Releasing those extremes, attachment and even detachment, we are in mindfulness. The fourth stage of mindfulness is that, according to what the Buddha taught, Dhammesu Dhammanupassī viharati. This is the real fight that we have. Now we have come to the war with the Mara. This is the very important place. Now we are fighting with mental formations. When we have hindrances, pancha-niyarana, kamachanda, sensual pleasure, vyapada, ill will, thinamidda, sloth and torpor, uddhacca kukucca, restlessness and scruples, and vicikicca, skeptical doubts. We are aware of our mind and mental formations. When our mind is polluted with these 5 hindrances, we know very well, now I have these kind of unpleasant mental states. Then we fight with these hindrances. And when they go away, we know that now I have no these hindrances. Already we have practiced some meditation techniques to overcome these negative emotions. What they are? The contemplation of impurity of body parts, the contemplation of our body after we die, the contemplation of 4 fundamental elements. Already we have practiced some meditation techniques to overcome these hindrances. At the same time, we can practice other meditation techniques too, such as loving kindness, metta bhavana, buddha-anusati, contemplation of the Buddha's qualities, and marana-anusati, contemplation of death. These 3 meditation techniques are very important. When we start mindfulness meditation, practicing buddha-anusati, Maitri and Marana-anusati are very important. And also, next, we contemplate on the 5 aggregates. Now, little by little, we are aware of our mental formations, especially 5 aggregates. Rupa, Vedana, Sanya, Sankhara, Vijnana. Whatever we experience through our senses, we understand the bottom level of our all experiences is that the 5 aggregates. At the beginning, sometimes we contemplate something separately. Now we conclude everything in 5 aggregates. First of all, we learned how to make a tea or coffee. How we should add to coffee or tea. Water, heat, coffee, sugar. These are the things that we added to the coffee. Now when we drink, we understand this thing has these kind of coffees, no sugar, a little heat like that. Now we recognize when we eat something, when we drink something. Like that, First, we learned how to make a tea or coffee. Now, when we drink coffee, what is the nature of drinking coffee? It means whatever we experience. When we see something, when we hear something, when we smell something, when we taste something, when we feel something, we suddenly know that this is the formula of coffee. This is the formula of 5 aggregates. Our mind is not fixed in outside. As soon as we see something, we can keep it in our hand. But we know that This is the 5 aggregates. When someone blames you, first you understand there is a person who is blaming, who is calling you. But now we understand this sound is 5 aggregates. Sometimes when you eat something, you are very happy. Now you understand this is the 5 aggregates. And sometimes when you remember something, your mom or your son or something, you dream about them, but now you understand, now you are reading your own mind with 5 aggregates. Then we understand these 5 aggregates are not permanent. They don't come continuously from the past to the present. Every moment we prepare this one. We have no ready-made things. We have no pre-made something. We always make something at the moment. We create the world at the moment according to our present mental condition. Like when we go to a mirror, the reflection of the mirror wasn't waiting for me. As soon as I go to the mirror, the reflection appears in the mirror. Like that. The taste is not in the plate, but I create the taste in my mouth with something adding in my mouth. Like that, when I speak something, I have no sweet or bad words. You create sweet or bad words according to your present mental condition. When I blame you before 5 years ago, sometimes you might be unhappy. Now, if I use the same words at the moment, you are not unhappy. You are neutral. What is the reason now you are in mindfulness? Like that, we have no permanent experiences in our life. When you remember someone, sometimes you may be happy. Sometimes you are unhappy, thinking about the same person. When you think about son just now, you may be neutral. When you go home, if you think your son, sometimes you may be unhappy. You may be angry. The reason is that these mental formations don't come to the present continuously. It differs from moment to moment according to the mental conditions at the moment. As the result of contemplating on 5 aggregates, we realize the nature of 5 aggregates. Every moment, we create 5 aggregates according to our present mental condition, according to our ignorance. When our ignorance is very high, we have a lot of sufferings. If we are wise and mindful, then 5 aggregates are neutral. We have no suffering. And next, we realize the 6 senses. In Buddhism, there is a skillfulness. What is that? We should be skillful in senses. Ayatana kusalata. This is the real skillfulness in Buddhism. Sometimes you are skillful in your jobs, in your associating friends, you are skillful. But those are not the real skillfulnesses. What is the real skillfulness? Real skillfulness is the skillfulness in senses. What is that? When we see something, when we hear something, we should understand the ability of seeing arises at the moment. The ability of hearing arises at the moment. The ability of smelling arises at the moment. The experience, not only outside objects, but even inside senses arise at the moment. When you see something, suddenly you remember about that experience, then you are happy. Sometimes When you see something, suddenly your mind changes to unpleasant and also you may get angry. Then your body changes suddenly. We create the world at the moment. We have no permanent world which comes from the past to the present. Every moment we create the world. Every moment our world is new. But our ignorance doesn't believe it. Our ignorance always brings us to the past in the worst dust environment. That is why our mind is polluted. That is why we are unhappy. That is why we are suffering. By practicing the mindfulness, especially reflecting on impermanence, we trained our mind to make the world at the moment as a fresh world. Then we have no dustbins in our garden. 6 senses, when we see something, there are 10 stages. Chakku, Rupa, Chakku Viññāna, Chakku Sampassajā Vedana, Rupa Tanha, Rupa Saññā, Rupa Sañcetana, Rupa Vitakka, Rupa Vichara. 10 things arise together at the moment, suddenly. It is very instant. Everything arises at the moment. Not only arising, but immediately they cease. But our ignorance, our bad friend, doesn't believe it. If we have the best friend, mindfulness, he realizes, he invites us to get rid of suffering, living in the present moment, reflecting on impermanence. Finally, next stage, that the 7 factors of enlightenment. Sati, Dhammavijaya, Viriya, Piti, Passaddhi, Samadhi, Upekha. Now we have enlightenment factors. Now we are focusing on enlightenment. We do everything lending enlightenment. Whatever we do, mindfulness, energy, rapture, tranquility, concentration, equanimity, everything focus on liberation, focus on enlightenment. Now we are in the higher level. When we have these enlightenment factors, we know very well, at the moment I have these enlightenment factors in my mind. We are so happy. Little by little, we go to the destination. Finally, we realize the 4 Noble Truths. Dukkhe Jnanam, Samudaya Jnanam, Nirodha Jnanam, Magga Jnanam. This is a very important place. First of all, we listening to the place where we reach Suttame Jnana, the knowledge of listening. Now, what is that? Throughout practicing bhavana, first of all, we ask the address where we are going to from our friend. Now, we have come to the place where we wish to reach. Now, we see the thing that we have already heard. This is the dukkha satya. This is the place where we have come. Buildings, roads, vehicles, trees. Now you can see. Dukkhe Jnanam. Dukkha satya. You can see the noble truth of suffering. You can see the noble truth of the origin of suffering. You can see the noble truth of the cessation of suffering. You can see the noble truth of the path that leads to getting rid of suffering. Now you see the 4 Noble Truths physically, mentally, in person. Then you are in equanimity. You are a calm person. You don't struggle with anything or anyone. You are only a seeker. because the world, you don't belong to the world. You are separate from the world. You are only a seeker. You have realized anicca dukkha anatta. Anicca means everything arises and ceases at the moment. Everything is dissatisfactory. Everything is selfless. If this is the truth, why do we worry? Then we are in equanimity, upekka, sankhara upekkana. This is the destination that we have reached. As the result of practicing fourfold mindfulnesses, step by step, we started this journey throughout practicing Kayanupassana, the contemplation of body. Next, contemplation of feelings. Again, contemplation of consciousness. Finally, contemplation of mental formations. We can see here mental formations, thoughts, but we see only arising and ceasing of these mental formations. Then those mental formations don't belong to us. We also don't belong to them. This is the destination. This is the liberation. This is the enlightenment. This is the place one day we should reach. This is the thing that we should learn. This is the practice what we should do. And this is the thing that we should give the priority to do. We were born to the world. We were born in this world to practice this path in this real life. Therefore, we have to dedicate everything for achieving this goal. For that, I wish you all the best. Have any question? Yes?
Page 3, paragraph 4. According to Vibhanga Sutta, Satipatthana Samyutta of Samyutta.
Yes, Samyutta Nikaya.
Is that a misspelling or are they just two words that I don't understand?
Actually, Satipatthana Sutta. Satipatthana Samyutta comes in Satipatthana Samyutta. Samyutta Nikaya has a part, a special part that dedicated to mindfulness.
So it should be Satipatthana Sutta.
Vibhanga Sutta in Satipatthana Samyutta. Samyutta Nikaya. Samyutta Nikaya is the big book. The Samyutta, Satipatthana Samyutta is one of the parts of the Samyutta Nikaya. Yes, you are welcome. Samyutta Nikaya is a big book. There are many stages, many parts of the Samyutta Nikaya. Satipatthana Samyutta, Abhisamaya Samyutta, Vibhanga Samyutta, Devata Samyutta, Devaputta Samyutta. There are many Samyuttas in the same book. One of them is Satipatthana Samyutta. Yes, chapters like that. Okay, by the power of all these meritorious deeds, may our departed relatives also rejoice with these merits, and may they receive a blissful life, and may they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu 3 times. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. By the power of all these spiritual energies, may guardian deities and angels also rejoice with these merits, and may they enhance their divine energy. May they protect the Buddha Sasana. May they protect you too. May they keep their eye on you too. May they also attain the final bliss of liberation. With that intention, let's share these merits with guardian deities and angels too. Akasattha ca bhummattha devānāgā mahid puññaṃ anumoditvā chiraṃ rakkhantu sāsanam. Akasattha ca bhummattha devānāgā mahid පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු දේශනං ආකාසට්ඨා ච බුම්මට්ඨා දේවානාගා මහිද්దికා පුඤ්ඤන්තං අනුමෝදිත්වා චිරං රක්ඛන්තු ත්වං සදා. By the power of all these meritorious deeds and spiritual energy, may you be well, happy and peaceful. May no harm come to you. May no problems come to you. May no difficulties come to you. May your all righteous and spiritual wishes meet with success. Finally, may all of us attain the final bliss of liberation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Dukkham pantāca nindukkhā, bhayam pantāca nindbhayā, sokam pantāca nissokā, hontu sambe pipānino. Sadhu, sadhu,